Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Coaching Success Stories. We are here with another exciting episode. So, today I'm very happy to welcome Deepak Devpure. And Deepak's story is very, very inspiring. He comes from many years of IT experience with one of the largest IT companies in India and globally also. And after working for many, many years and with very successful career in India as well as abroad, he decided to take the plunge and decided to become a coach. So I'm very, very excited to have this conversation with Deepak. So hello, Deepak, and welcome to the Coaching Success Stories.
Hi, Hemant. Thanks for having me, and truly excited to be in your show.
Yes, thank you so much, Deepak. And let's jump into the conversation straight away, right?
Surely, surely.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of a flashback. So 2 years ago, and you were working, or tell us a little bit about your career journey and what point you came to that juncture where you started thinking about coaching.
Yes. So Hemant, I I basically come from the IT background, right? If I just tell you a
Yes,
little bit about myself, right?
sure.
I'm a single father to a 9-year-old daughter. I live in Navi Mumbai, and I come from a IT industry background of 16 years. I have worked with various companies, product-based companies and service-based companies, one of which was TCS, my last company, in which I spent about 13 years. And I also spent, a lot of time working in Europe, in Netherlands specifically. So, as most of the IT guys typically, like, I started my journey as a developer and went on to taking up different kind of roles, and towards the end I was working as a solution architect on those kind of roles. So yeah, and there is a story behind why it actually happened, which I can tell you definitely, because of which I thought about getting into coaching. I mean, that thought creeped in because I was not aware of coaching at a point when I started to look about for it. So that's a little bit of a background of me, and going to answer your question, what brought me. So yeah, so I can tell you what exactly happened in 2018. Some incident happened in my life. While I was working in Netherlands, my wife was detected with cancer, and she only survived afterwards for six months. And that literally kind of changed my whole life. And my daughter was just 2 years old at that point of time. So I was clueless about how to deal with this situation, and was having a very difficult time. I moved back to India in 2020, and somehow I was trying to survive for a year. After COVID also stuck at that point of time, so life completely turned around in 2021. This was the time when I actually started to think about, because I started to lose my enthusiasm, the rigor that I had in my work, the interest that I had, because I felt I was a bit away, and I was trying to search a meaning in my. I went into my own spiritual journey as well, to identifying who am I and all those things. And that lead me to thinking, what am I doing? I felt like I should be doing something which is more meaningful, which gives me more purpose to work for and live for. So and through my interactions with some of my friends or so, and whenever I used to interact with them, they sometimes told me that, hey, the way you explain certain things, or you go into deeper into certain things, you can be a coach. One of my friend told me, and I actually thought, okay, fine. I did not knew a coach at that point of time, apart from the sports coaches that we know.
Yeah,
So, but I left it there at that time. Never went into it that much. But after a couple of months, once time, I was just thinking about my career or so, and I remembered that statement that a friend made for me, that you can be a coach, and I searched about it. Okay, what is a coach and everything,
yeah,
and I found some articles, some information about it, and that's when I I realized that, oh, there is a career possibility in this particular field, and
Hmm.
there are some even trainings available for it. So after some exploration, I jumped into one of the life coach training program. So I'm an ICF accredited life coach now. So
Yeah.
it was a 6 months long training. I went through it, and I immediately realized this is what I want to do. This is what I
Right.
wanted to do, and that's how I got introduced into life coaching in general as an umbrella, I
Yes.
would say, at that time.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that background. And it's very touching and it's very inspiring that while you were searching for meaning in life because of the experience that you had gone through in your life, when you started searching for meaning, coaching is something that you found out.
Yes.
And like you mentioned that it started giving you that um, validation or confirmation that yeah, this is something that I want to do that will give me meaning, or this is
Yes.
something that will be meaningful for me. That's very powerful, Deepak. That's very, very powerful. So my next question to you will be that you did this initial coach training, and what got you attracted to career coaching?
Yeah. So that's exactly when I went through this whole life coach training program, I realized that life coaching is a kind of a bigger umbrella. Okay.
Hmm.
And towards the end of the program, we were introduced on choosing a niche. Okay.
Right.
And I was confused about multiple niches that I wanted to work upon. I had a very close association with. I really wanted to work on the area of grief coaching because that's when I went through my own experience, and I wanted to work on that. But
Right.
I felt I was not fully ready at that time. So
Hmm.
I thought to park that for the time being and work on it later on. So then the next thing that came to my mind was career coaching, because this was something that I've been I was in the corporate industry at that point of time. I was working definitely,
Yes.
and I do have a background of 16 years of the industry, so I know what is it. And I was also
Yeah.
exploring this journey out of that and moving into doing something else. So I thought that if at all I can really do that, I would have a real life experience of helping others, because having a real life experience is much more important. It really adds a value to to your own when you work with clients, right? You are able to bring them perspective, and you can connect
Yes.
with them on that thing.
Yes, because you yourself have gone through that journey of
Exactly.
successes and failures and what it takes to be
Exactly.
effective at a workplace and the challenges that we all face at different stages of career. Absolutely.
Correct.
Rightly said so. And I remember, Deepak, that we met about 2 years ago or more than 2 years ago.
It's more than that, actually. three
Yeah,
years
actually
three
more
and a
than
half
that.
years
Right, time flies.
Yeah.
And then you joined the career coach certification program, and I remember you taking that journey. So let's talk about that journey a little bit.
Yeah,
That
yeah, sure.
yes. So how was that journey for you, and in what ways it helped you prepare, to launch yourself as a career coach?
Yes, definitely. Because when I chose career coaching as one of the niche that I want to explore into, I I I was I although I wanted to work on this niche, but I felt that there was things missing, that if in order for me to help others, I not only the coaching way is important, but you also need right tools and some audits that you need to incorporate as part of exploration of this. So that is where I felt that I needed these kind of things. Okay. And again, Google was the savior. I searched around for career coaches, and your website came up from there. So I contacted you initially for the career coaching, right? But then you told me about that this is what a program that is available for as a career coach certification program. And I felt this is exactly what I want, because apart from my own life experiences, the life coach training that I have gone through, this was the missing piece that I really wanted to fit for becoming a successful coach. And that's when I found you, and I immediately enrolled you with your program for the career coach certification.
Right. And Deepak, I remember you taking that journey, and as any coach training program does to to all of us as coaches. Do you remember any specific instances where you realized, oh, while I'm working or while I'm preparing and training to become a coach, and while I'm working with these tools, reflection tools, and the introspections, did you yourself go through some kind of a shift, or did you find any blind spot about yourself during that process?
Definitely, definitely, Hemant. All the tools that you have introduced in the program, when I used it on my own life, I felt this is exactly what I kind of tried to do. I was trying to identify what are my unique skills. When a friend told me that you have a good ability to explain people, I realized, oh, okay. And when I did that exercise, exactly same thing came up from there. The skills wise, the other audits that are there as part of this program. So all in all, those all pieces were, I first applied it on me. Okay,
Yeah.
see whether it really is giving me the same answer. Okay,
Yes.
and when that was happening, and when I realized that this is exactly what is needed for me to help my clients, because I've seen it working on me myself, right? So then it really makes sense to use it with others for that.
Exactly.
That what was my, I completely loved that program because, as I told you, right, it was really fitting into that missing hole that was there, right? The
Yes.
tools and the audits
Yeah.
and the whole journey of that program was amazing for me.
Fantastic. Good. Great to know that, because there is exactly why the program has been designed to help people, really become effective career coaches through the entire framework and the toolkit, everything. So now let's talk about the next step of your journey, right? Now you were already certified, as a coach, you got the framework and the toolkit. Now you're ready to go, right? So how it has panned out for you, like, how is the journey after that, after you became a coach? So how did you work with the clients? What difference are you making in the world?
Yeah,
We would our audience would love to know that, how is your coaching journey shaped up, on the business side as well?
surely. Yes. So after I completed this, I started to really work with the clients with my job already. I was doing that after my work or the weekends or so. I was trying to get some clients and work, and of course, uh, you there are things that you can learn and there are things that you need to experience. Okay, so experience has to go through that journey. So when I went through my own working with clients, I realized that every client is unique. They have their different challenges. The way
Yes.
you have to work with them is different.
Yes.
Some are more open for coaching. Some are more open for like mentoring kind of a thing or a
Yes.
consulting kind of a thing. So I realized through that journey that we can't just have one template and fit it all with every client. You have to look at the client, understand them. Okay,
Yes.
understand their journey and their needs and their challenges, and accordingly kind of offer them the program. This is what I
Yes.
learned uh, through my journey. Okay,
Wonderful.
and yes, so initially, yes, I had to work upon marketing myself, to so I used platforms like LinkedIn. I became more active on that, tried to post regularly, and through other various other mediums and through my own contacts. People reached out to me, some clients reached out to me, and I worked with them. But over the period of time, I saw once I was able to create that result and was able to showcase that, slowly the clients came to me more. And that's when, so in the last, I would say 3.5 years of this journey, I have kind of approximately would have crossed about 800 plus hours of coaching
Wow,
I have
that's
done.
amazing.
Yeah, including the discovery calls that I take, right?
Yes.
But as I also mentioned, in the last 1 year, 1.5 years, I also started to work on my other niche, which is the grief niche. So
Yes.
that's where also I work with some other clients,
Yes.
that niche. So I'm also
Yes.
including a little bit of that work that I'm doing there.
Yes.
So overall, as a coaching experience, I have, I can say safely about more than 800 hours of coaching that I have did.
Amazing.
And
Amazing. That's amazing to hear, Deepak. So 800 hours plus of coaching in the last, 2 years. And how many clients have you worked with so far?
I think it's above 100, I would say 100 plus,
100.
something like
That's a
that.
very good number. That's
Yeah.
an excellent number. Yes. And you also spoke about, you know, you actually, learning through the process, that
Yes.
how this, how coaching, and especially one-to-one coaching that you have been into.
Yes.
So one-to-one coaching has also that element of customization for every client that you're working with.
Definitely.
And 800 plus hours of coaching, and more than 100 clients that you have worked with. This is amazing success, right? Now let me go back a little bit and ask you a question, that when you started the journey, right,
Yes.
did you have any kind of self doubts, or some kind of fear, or some kind of anxiety, that hey, I have started on this journey, but I don't know how this is going to span out? Did something like that happen to you?
Absolutely, it happened. Absolutely, it
Yeah.
happened, Ayman. So I remember the first call, the first discovery call that I took. I was kind of very shivering, kind of a bit of a fearful. Although it was not visible on my face, but internally
Yeah.
I knew that. Okay, and so yes, the ups and downs are there, and I mean, I have seen that in the last 2.5 years, 3 years.
Yes.
Have been ups and downs. There are
Mm.
times when you know, in the year also when there are more clients approaching, there are also times when there is a little bit of a sluggish period. So when things do not go a little bit your way, you do feel that self doubt. So
Mm.
that does did happen also. When and of course you might agree with that, right? You know, each coaching session is different. You know,
Yes.
you may have a very good coaching session today with the same client. You may have the next coaching session which you may feel, okay, I don't think it went really that well, right? You know, although the client sometimes may not feel that, but as a
Yeah.
coach, you feel that, right?
Yes.
So that's when you have to remind ourselves that we kind of coaches kind of have that perfectionist kind of attitude almost,
Yeah.
so we really
Yes.
want to give our best. And even
Yes.
if there is a 10% which we feel that we couldn't give, we feel that, oh, but I think the best response you can get is from the client.
Yes.
Whenever these kind of self doubt or these things comes in, when you work with the client, ask them, okay, how
Yes.
did it go? How what did you like? What you did not like? What do you want me to change something?
Yes.
So their inputs could be incorporated. That's what I learned, and I've tried trying to do that all the time. I
Yes.
always keep on asking them, is this the right approach? Are we in the right direction? Do
Yes.
you want me to do in a different way? So I keep
Yeah.
on ensuring that they are always on the same page. So that
Yes.
helps us that, okay, it's not driven by me, they are driving it. Because if
Yes.
they are driving it, then you will not feel that.
Absolutely. Very well said. Very well said, Deepak, because the coaching is for the client. So you always take them into confidence, and help them achieve their goals. So absolutely makes sense. And that's what makes you a successful coach, Deepak.
Right.
So now when you look back at your own journey, right? 2 years, 2.5 years, right? If when you look back at your journey, and you took this so-called risky decision to give give up, or quit your well-paying corporate job at a very well-known company, that too in IT industry, which is booming, growing. So when you look back at your journey,
Yeah.
uh, do you think you have made the right decision, and if yes, why?
Absolutely. There is no question, no doubt about that I have made a right decision. 100 times, I would say that it was a right decision, mainly because of the fact that the happiness that I get, whenever the session completes and when the client feels that happiness and when you get that testimonial from that client, right? It gives me that energy from
Hmm.
within that, oh, I'm doing something which is more meaningful. I'm creating some impact in the life of one person. Okay. And because we know that career these days not easy. We are in a world right now, especially after COVID, when things are very, very difficult.
Yes.
Expectations from the corporates are quite
Yes.
high, and also, our own expectation from how we want our career, and
Yes.
something we have also experienced during COVID about 2 years.
Yes.
When we were at home spending time with family, and we realized something and we experienced something, and many clients do come that with that thing, I realized something that, that was the best moment and I'm missing that, and I want to make a career which will be more meaningful, like that. Yeah, that's definitely the thing,
Yeah. And also AI is, big
yeah,
time
is
disrupting companies, disrupting jobs. Many thousands of layoffs are happening. There is a lot of uncertainty that I can see in the air. So
there
I'm
is
sure you also must have experienced that with your clients. And
definitely.
this is the time they need help. Have you experienced that, Deepak, that especially the AI disruption?
Yes, yes. There are many clients who come to me with the same kind of a fear that, the AI is kind of getting very powerful. So many things that, especially the IT people, because they come to me, connect with me. So
Yeah.
they say that, these days the AI is kind of taking over a lot of things, okay, and automation and everything is kicking in. So I am
Yes.
fearful about whether I will be relevant or not in the next few
Mm,
years or so. So what can I do to be more relevant about it?
right.
Okay, so that is definitely the case. Unfortunately, this is the world that we are living in right now. It's a disruptive kind of a thing that has happened, and we have
Yes.
to adapt to this. Okay,
True.
and those who adapt will only kind of persist. Otherwise, you need to adapt to it, and you have to incorporate that in your career. Okay, and this is what I also tell my clients. So this is a definitely one of the problem statement that people come to me with, apart from the other general problem statements like career clarity or the growth or transition. These were all time kind of statements that people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well said, Deepak. So it is very clear that career coaching has tremendous demand in current times, and especially it will grow in the coming years because AI disruption is going to grow
Yes.
big time. So, Deepak, before we wrap up our conversation, I must ask you this question: that people who are, in their mid career, mid senior levels, where they are stagnated or bored with their current jobs, they have a lot of experience, but they're not growing or they're not finding meaning in their careers anymore. So should they be considering coaching as one of the options? And if yes, why?
See, I think if you have, I believe that if you have gone through experiences in life, and you have, that is the most important thing. If you have that feeling from within that you want to help others, okay,
Yeah.
to bring a difference in people's life, and you are ready to go through this journey, because it's not easy. You have to learn. There is a continuous learning process that you have to go through that.
Yes.
So, and your program, the CCC program, definitely takes away a lot of load, because this thing, if you have to do it on your own, it will take years. I'm sure about that. This we do it in just a matter of like 7 weeks or 8 weeks that you cover. If you have to do it, it will take definitely a lot of time. So it takes away a lot of your load. There are help available, and you should definitely consider that. But also you have to ask, is this what I want to do? Is this, will it make me happy? You should try to align it with your own values, like a compass which is always kind of pointing towards the north, right? It's like you as a person is always kind of wherever you are and whichever place you are in your career or your personal life, you're always trying to point to your true values, right? And uh, and if you feel that my true value is to help others and I want to bring a difference in people's life, and I have the experience and the expertise that I can bring in, okay,
Yes.
uh, you can definitely consider this, because as you said, there is a lot of demand for this particular niche of coaching. People are struggling. You need many coaches, good coaches, actually.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. So if you have that, you feel that I want to help, you should, I would say that if you don't feel that I don't want to help people, that thing is, then you don't consider this. But if you have that thing within you, that you want to help others with your experience, with your expertise, or with your knowledge, okay, then you can definitely get into this program for the time being as a part time kind of a thing. Experience this, learn this, try to work with the client as I did, right? I did
Yeah.
not quit my job right away. I was doing this for 2 years, approximately, with my job, after my work, during my weekends. So it is possible, and then you get that feeling, then you get that confidence, then you can slowly navigate that towards it. So it is possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very well said, Deepak. Very, very well said. And one thing that has changed significantly since you, what is that one thing that you love about your current life that was missing from your corporate life? Is there something like that?
Yes, definitely. Um, One thing that I have got now, see, one of the reason which I did not tell you why I entered into coaching, one was my own meaning that I wanted to get from my
Yes.
life. Second was I wanted to be there for my daughter, because as
Yes.
I told you at the start, I'm a single father,
Yeah.
and I wanted to be there with my daughter, around her whenever she needs. Okay, so, and this profession, this career has given me that freedom. Okay. So now I can choose to work when I want, when I don't want. If I have something like on coming Friday, my daughter's school orientation is there, and I have blocked my calendar at for that time. That's it. I'm not working at that time, because
Yeah.
so that has given me the freedom. Okay, and that is also giving me the, I want to serve people, so it is giving me that opportunity. This
Yes.
was not something there in me before, but over this experience that I went through, my own life experiences and this journey, I realized that serving gives me more happiness than a typical, maybe a job. I mean, it's my own, because of my own journey, I would say. So
Yeah.
serving is, I'm able to do that. Okay, I'm able to get that
Wonderful.
freedom. So I would say this is the big changes that has happened in my life now.
That's amazing. That's so inspiring, Deepak. So, such a wonderful time, in this conversation. Really enjoyed this conversation with you, Deepak. So, thank you for your time, and thank you everyone who are watching. And if you are considering, a career that gives you freedom, like Deepak said, flexibility, and also that fulfillment of helping others, then please consider career in career coaching. Yes, and thank you everybody for watching this coaching success stories. And we'll come back with another amazing episode very soon. So thank you, Deepak, once again.
Thank you, Iman. Thanks for having me. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.